Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by ICOM. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information about ICOM radios.
It's Ham Radio.
Good evening to everyone. It's time for Ham Talk Live, episode number 264, the Huntsville Hamfest Preview 2021, recorded live on Thursday, July 8th, 2021. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky now, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight we're joined by Mark Brown in for BCD, and we will take your calls live a little later on in the show. Last week here on Ham Talk Live, Junie in 1DUC was here to talk about POTA and lighthouses and ducks, and even had her ducks on the show. So if you missed that show, get your ducks in a row and listen over at hamtalklive.com or on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. And, of course, don't forget you can catch the rebroadcast on WTWW. That's 5085 on your AM dial, Saturday afternoons at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So get your questions ready to go for Mark. If you're listening to us live on Thursday night, you can give us a call a little later on in the show. I'll give you the phone number so you can type that in, punch that in, write it down, whatever, and have it ready to go. The number is 859-982-7373. Again, 859-982-7373. And I'll give out that number a few more times before it's time to call. So have no fear. We'll do that again. We'd like to get some participation tonight from you all. Also, you can tweet us. Send in your questions or comments on Twitter. It's at Ham Talk Live over on Twitter. And if you're on Spreaker, you can type into the comments if you have an account there. So feel free to do that as well. And I'll be back with Mark right after this word from ICOM America right here on Ham Talk Live. June kicked off hurricane season, and another rough wildfire season may be on the horizon. When natural disasters strike, cellular towers and power grids can quickly become overloaded and incapacitated. Emergency comms need to be instant, reliable, and allow interoperation with other organizations and agencies for relief coordination. Amateur radio provides reliable emergency communications with the added security of system redundancy. In addition to our lineup of amateur D-Star digital, HF, and analog radios, our IC-SAT 100 portable satellite radio and IP501 HM LTE radios are an ideal solution for additional coverage. Use ICOM's VEPG4 radio over IP gateway to bridge these radios and more to various modern communication systems, creating a seamless network. Count on us. ICOM's IC-SAT 100 is the perfect handheld satellite radio for use outside of cellular or network range. By operating on Iridium's constellations of satellites, quickly and easily connect with other PTT services, even from remote areas. A mobile version is also available. It has an emergency call button, Aquaquake, AES 256-bit encryption, and a voice recording function. One of many global comms with the push of a button. The IP501H and IP501M radios provide instant wide area coverage over LTE. By using an LTE network, you bypass the need for a pre-existing infrastructure, allowing nationwide coverage without the added costs of building and maintaining your own. And a mobile version is available. Priority interrupt calling, individual group, talk group, multiplex talk group, and all calls, emergency button, lone worker and man down functions, and vibration alert notifications. Instant wide area coverage over LTE with ICOM's IP510H and M. The VEPG4 connects all of these devices and more, even systems operating on different protocols, with this gateway. The land mobile and LTE radios to IP communication terminals and IP phone systems work together to form one seamless and uninterrupted network, ensuring your comms are received. You can bridge connections between radio systems, LTE transceiver gateway, IP phone interconnect, multi-site connection between VEPG4s, and external equipment connection. ICOM's VEPG4 is the solution for your interoperability needs. Visit ICOMAmerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
If Denny's is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, why are there locks on the doors? Now, here's Neil Rapp with more Ham Talk Live.
Welcome back to Ham Talk Live. ICOM America has all kinds of cool gear. Check them out at ICOMAmerica.com/amateur. And tonight we have Mark Brown in for BCD joining us on the Orlando Amateur Radio Club and Hamcation Hotline. Mark is the chairman of the Huntsville Hamfest and works at one of the many high-tech government contracting firms found in Huntsville, Alabama. He's been the president of the North Alabama DX Club, the Huntsville Amateur Radio Club, and is a member of both the Tennessee and Alabama contest groups. Mark started out as a novice back in high school and got back into the service full force at age 50. And Mark works really hard all year long in his role as the chairman of the Huntsville Hamfest, and he is a frequent caller to the show. So, Mark, thank you for coming on and talking to us. And it's exciting to be talking about a big Hamfest again.
Hey, thanks, Neil, and good evening, Neil and everyone listening. Yes, we are just beyond excited. We started the planning for this back in the January, February timeframe when we saw the vaccine rollouts and things were starting to look up. And we've met with the Von Braun Center and we've made some adjustments. They made some adjustments, allowances for us to grow the Hamfest in size so that we can space things out. We're going to be the same number of actually a few more flea market tables and the same number of vendors, but we're just spread out at a bigger space from 80,000 square feet to 140,000 square feet. So we're gonna have a big Hamfest and lots of big aisles, so plenty of room for everybody.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. It's just been, over a year since we've had a big Hamfest. A lot of the smaller ones have been popping up and showing up with a vengeance. And I'm even seeing some that have just moved their dates up just so they can, go. And as the restrictions are easing somewhat, the vaccine is getting to be more predominant. things are getting better. So what are you looking at here for 2021 at the Hamfest?
Well, we sent out a non-binding questionnaire to our vendors and a lot of our visitors back in the February timeframe, in asking what their thoughts were on should we have the Hamfest in August. And there was a lot of cautious optimism. And as the weeks and months have gone by, that word cautious has kind of gone away, replaced with just optimism. We've had vendors that are coming that just couldn't wait to sign up. We've had a few latecomers that saw that things are looking up and got approval from their corporate folks to travel. And same with the vendors, the organizations, Orlando and Dayton. They're chomping at the bit. Their whole crews will be here. They booked early. They'll be at the embassy, and we'll be able to all get together. The league at headquarters. We had Mickey Baker, our Southeastern Division Director, and a lot of the state and assistant section managers. Those kind of guys. They signed up early, but the league, up in Connecticut, they were still locked down. And so it was well into, I can't remember the month, but they were recent in their approval to travel. And so we'll have Bob Enderbitson, Yvette, Rick Roderick is coming over from Arkansas, the CEO, David Minster. I'm not sure where he lives, and I'm not sure, this may be his first big Hamfest as CEO. Or COO, I confuse those. My apologies, but David will be here, and so the league will have a huge presence, and we're very excited to just host a real live Hamfest. We wanted to do it right. We didn't want to do anything virtual. Some folks wanted to phone in their presentations. No, our forums are going to be real live in person, where you'll be able to ask the speaker, to interrupt the speaker, and ask a question. So. It's a real Hamfest, and we're really excited that we're one of the first ones back, and we hope this is an indicator of things to come. Next February, Orlando is happening. Unfortunately, Dayton had to cancel 2 years in a row. They'll be back in May of next year, so we're all excited to get together and meet in person and see everybody's face again. There's just no substitute for in-person events.
Yeah, that's very true. The virtual ones have their place, and they're great for certain items, but it just doesn't replace the real thing. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone down in Huntsville. So another way. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things I'm very excited about is over the pandemic and everybody was locked down at home. Well, that didn't prevent people from going online and buying radios. I can't imagine what the flea market area is going to look like this year, where everybody's got an old radio to sell. And so flea markets are normally a vibrant, really exciting thing, especially in Huntsville. We get it's indoors, stuff is protected from the weather. It's all air conditioning and all air conditioned. And so, a lot of folks are going to bring radio. And this year, I think it will be even more.
Now, you've expanded the area, which, again, you're spreading things out more. But you've expanded the area. And so how many spots do you have left for the vendors?
None. We spent the weekend. We spent the weekend trying to shoehorn in the two commercial vendors that wanted single wide 10-foot booths. And Art, our commercial guy that's been doing this for decades, he was able to find a place for these guys. And I don't know if he'll be able to. I don't know if he'll be able to go to that well again. But the same thing with the flea market. We recently added an additional 5 or 6 tables, taking the total to, I think, 384. And there just simply isn't more room. One of the things we could not do, we started with this design with 12-foot aisles. We've jiggered things around a little bit, but one thing we can't do is just a wholesale change to suddenly make 10-foot aisles and add another bank of tables. It's just it's too much of a tear up in the design to try to do something like that.
All right. So yeah, sold out. So we like those words.
Yes.
When you're looking for stuff, that's good news. So let's talk a little bit about, the restrictions are not totally gone. We've talked about some of the spacing that's happening, but what are the precautions and restrictions that will still be in place, or you expect to be in place at that point?
Okay, when we met with the Von Braun Center in February to get this kicked off, they told us that as a facility, they will be providing the hand sanitizing stations, the signage, the admonishments for social distancing, if you will, and all that stuff. They don't require us to do the one-way aisles anymore, the dedicated entry, the dedicated exit. It's a bidirectional entry exit like we've had in the past. At the time, they said masks are required. Now, in just very recently, as of a week ago, we have heard, not officially, that the VBC mask policy has gone to be optional. It's not something we know for a fact, and it's one of those things we know could change. And purposefully, we have not said one way or the other, will masks be required or not, because it's a changing landscape. I've got to think that where we are now in Alabama, in Madison County, with the high number of vaccinations, I think we're going to be okay without. I don't know if they're going to do a mask policy or not, but my hope is that it's not.
Yeah, well, that's the way things have been heading, and so just wanted to make sure people know that, we're not totally out of the woods yet, but it's looking so much better, and it's a moving target, I can tell you. I don't know if you saw the summer camp guidelines, but oh my goodness, they tightened them up, and then they turned right around like 2 weeks later and loosened them from where they were previously.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make, and it's not our call to make. And rather than put wrong information on the website, we're waiting until a week or two before to post make a Facebook and Twitter post and let folks know definitively what the current information is. And so that's the way we're going to play it.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move, because it changes constantly, and you just don't know. So we'll keep an eye on that and let our listeners know as well when that comes out. But we'll wait for the official word on that. Now, how about the hotel? How's the hotel doing? Are they full up? Will you still have some forums over there? What's going on across the street?
Neil, you mentioned the hotel as though there's only one, but there are several. I think the one you're referring to is the Embassy Hotel that's connected via the walkway. And yes, we're going to have forums over there on Saturday. We're not sure if we're going to need those rooms on Sunday. We'll take them if we need them, but they're available to us. But yeah, we'll have our hospitality suite available on the second floor there on Friday and Saturday nights. But yeah, that hotel has it's completely full. It may be oversold. They sold out in record time this year. Back behind it is another Marriott property. We've heard that they're sold out. There's a Homewood Suites that's over near the hospital. I think it may have some rooms available, but the uptake on these hotel rooms was, if it's any indication of what crowd we're going to see, it's very encouraging that these hotels sold out quickly this year.
And then you've got is it the AC across the street?
The AC Marriott. Side? It's a very nice new hotel. Unfortunately, it's a bit pricey.
Yeah, and then you've got Spring Hill pretty close by too, I assume.
Spring Hill Suites behind the Von Braun Center. That's where the DX banquet is held, and they worked with them this year, and they're going to be able to host a large event. Back when we were in the planning stages of this stuff, they've got a finite room with a certain amount of square feet, and to make a DX banquet work, you need upwards of 80 to 100 guests just to make the math work. And if they were only going to allow 50 people in the room, that wasn't going to work. Well, they worked through that, and everything's okay. I can't remember the name of the speaker, but he's one of the guys that was headed to Bouvet.
Okay, very good. And yeah, we'll see how the Bouvet thing turns out. So stay tuned on that one. But sounds like things are going along really well. And again, I'm just excited to see everybody. It's been way too long. So really looking forward to heading down there. All right, well, it's time to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take your phone calls, we'll take your comments and tweets and all that stuff. The phone number to call, 859-982-7373, and I'll be back with Mark right after this word from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live.
Hey, honey, have you seen the PL259s anywhere?
No, I haven't. Come on, kids. Let's go.
There's just one place to go for all of your connector needs.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
A giant warehouse of connectors and adapters for every occasion. Thousands to choose from in every shape, size, and color. And they have antennas, soldering supplies, cables, meters, and more. Where do you go if you want to buy a connector at a fraction of retail cost?
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
And this weekend only, take advantage of our special liquidation sale. Buy 9 solder-type PL259s, get the 10th one for just 1 penny. They make great Christmas presents. And what better way to say I love you than with the gift of a PL259?
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
I'm Scott, KB9AMM of Tower Electronics. I like the PL259 connector so much, I bought the company.
Tower Electronics, coming to a Hamfest near you, or online at pl-259.com. And we're in the yellow pages under Amateur Radio Connectors.
My, wherever did you get that lovely PL259?
Tower Electronics, pl-259.com, or call 920-435-2973.
Do we sell PL259 connectors?
Join the conversation. Give us a call at 859-982-7373. Again, the number to call is 859-982-7373. Or, if you'd rather type than talk, tweet us at Ham Talk Live. Now, here's Neil Rapp with more Ham Talk Live.
Ham Talk Live with Neil Rapp.
Welcome back to Ham Talk Live. Tower Electronics will be in Oak Creek, Wisconsin this weekend on July 10th. And, of course, they will be at Huntsville. So make sure you visit them at Huntsville. And you can check them out online at pl-259.com. Ham Talk Live is on the air every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here at hamtalklive.com. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, before we get back to Mark, it's time once again for the N9 GSU Ham Radio Joke of the Week.
Now it's time for the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week, the part of the show where Rick tells us a ham radio joke. The Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week is brought to you by QRM Labs. Now, here's Rick Garrett, N9 GSU, with today's Ham Talk Live Joke of the Week.
I was going to tell you all a joke about building a new Heathkit radio, but I'm still working on it.
This has been the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week with Rick Garrett in 9 GSU. Tune in again next week for another joke from Rick.
Oh my, he's still working on it. All right, thanks, Rick, and we'll look for another one next week. Right now, it is time for your calls. So if you have a question or a comment for Mark Brown in for BCD with the Huntsville Hamfest, give us a call right now at 859-982-7373. Again, it's 859-982-7373. You can also tweet us. It's at Ham Talk Live on Twitter. And if you're listening to us on WTWW or on the podcast edition of the show, you won't be able to call in because we're doing this on Thursday evening. We do have several people on Spreaker tonight. Jill, KD8QGA, is in the house. Thanks for listening. As well as Joe Eisenberg, K0NEB, who says he will be speaking at 3 p.m. in the Embassy Suites on Saturday of Huntsville's Hamfest. And John Knott in for JTK says greetings from Orlando, and yes, I will be at Huntsville. So hope to see you there, John. And yeah, he says wish it was this weekend, so ready for a Hamfest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure is. All right, well, let's see here. Let me punch the right buttons and go to the phones because we have a special guest on the phone. Good evening. Welcome to Ham Talk Live.
Hello.
How are you, Michael?
I'm good. How are y'all?
I am good. This is Michael Cawley, W4MCA from Orlando Hamcation. And thanks for joining us tonight.
How you doing, Michael?
Thank you for having me on. I'm good, Mark. How are you doing?
Great. I can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah, same here. That's what I was calling in, just to wish you all the best for the Hamfest and hopefully record numbers this year.
I know you and John are coming, and Peter and Liddy Meyer, your past chair people, and your European outreach or ambassadors, I guess you call them now. Is any other of your Hamcation staff coming?
Actually, yes. Our commercial chairman, Bob Cumming, is coming with us, yeah. And actually, my swaps chairman, Jim Robar, is actually going to come for the first time.
Awesome. We're excited to have you.
Looking forward to it.
Well, Michael, look forward to seeing you and John as well, and the whole gang. And it won't be long, so it'll be great to catch up with you.
I know you guys are staying in the embassy, and Neil, you also. I will share something. It just occurred to me a couple ago. We learned that the embassy has reverted from a served breakfast where they were serving the hot breakfast to a self-serve. They don't have the omelet station as they had in the past, but they are doing. It's a self-serve breakfast line with the hot breakfast and of course the juices and pastries and all that good stuff. So another case where they're getting a step in return to normal.
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds good. Always enjoy breakfast at the embassy. That's always a fun time.
Most important meal of the day.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, one of the things I forgot to mention earlier, Neil, was we published our dealer list over the 4th of July weekend. I think it went live July 5. So folks, go to hamfest.org, look at the dealers. I think we've got 52 on the list. And we think it's a great lineup of commercial vendors. And, of course, we'll be publishing the names and call signs of the flea market vendors also as we get closer.
Always great to have all that information. And Michael, while we have you on the phone here, not to steal the Huntsville thunder here, but any quick updates on Orlando?
Everything's full steam ahead. Our website's already live for 2022. You can go there right now at www.hamcation.com. You can purchase tickets, RV spaces. If you are a vendor, you can pay for your commercial or your swap tables, your tailgate area. So we've been pretty much ready to go now, and just working with ARL for the national convention. And a couple new things this year we'll get on the show at a later date to share with you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for calling in, and look forward to talking about Orlando here in a few months.
Sounds good. Mark, I'll see you in a little over a month.
43 days.
Not that he's counting.
Good.
Michael, thanks for calling. Take care.
All right, Mark. Neil, thank you.
All right, thanks, Michael. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
859-982-7373 is the phone number if you'd like to chime in here tonight. And let's see. Joe says they've got a small Hamfest in North Bend about an hour away on Saturday, and another one about 45 minutes from Kansas City next weekend. So yeah, they're popping up all over the place, and I'm seeing the Hamfest schedule pretty full actually.
Yes, the Saturday schedule is the forum schedule is full for Saturday. We're working to finalize the Sunday. But you said Joe is in a chat room or something. I don't have visibility to that, but I'll mention too, Joe's not only doing a forum on Saturday, Joe is hosting something new for us this year. We're going to do a couple of solder school sessions, adult solder school sessions. We're not sure exactly which kid it will be, but a lot of adults have expressed interest in learning to solder, and we're going to use a simple kit that takes, 45 minutes or so to put together some sort of functional kit. And this is different. This will be in a separate room from the youth lounge. The youth lounge, they typically, of course, they teach kids, but Joe is heading up this effort for us. And we're going to use one of the forum rooms on Sunday morning for these classes. And I want to thank Joe for stepping up and helping us with this.
Yeah, Joe's got all kinds of great ideas, and I've been picking his brain a little extra here in the last 3 or 4 weeks, getting ready for Youth on the Air Camp, which starts on Sunday. We'll talk about that just a little bit at the end of the show, but Joe's always a wealth of information, so glad to hear that there's solder school. All right.
Yes. And
well, let's go back.
Go ahead. One of the other things that I forgot to mention is, we got a call from a local club that meets on Redstone Arsenal, and due to the government mandated COVID restrictions, that club has not been able to meet since February of last year. And when they asked the question, I thought, there's probably other clubs and groups that have the same concern or problem. And so what we decided to do was to put together a couple of lounges, curtained rooms where 10 or 15 people can gather for a 1-hour block, free of charge. They just need to sign up on the website or send an email to I think it's webmaster@hamfest.org. And so folks can sign up for these rooms for their groups and just have a quiet place to meet in a curtained off area. And we thought it would just be helpful to the ham radio community at large.
Yeah, it's it's been a while since a lot of clubs have been able to meet, so that's a cool deal. All right, well, let's go back to the phones and see who we have here with us tonight. Good evening, welcome to Ham Talk Live. Who's this?
I'm so excited. I'm very excited.
And he just can't hide it.
Neil, this is Skeeter Nash, N5ASH, almost famous amateur radio newsline guy and
almost
former radio jockey. And turned truck driver, and I'm driving right now, but I thought I'd tune in because I'll tell you why. You know why I'm excited? I'll tell you why I'm excited. Because my wife, KF5KRN, also known as That Lucky Lucky Woman, and I are going to be at Huntsville this year.
Woo!
See, here's the thing. We planned it. We planned it earlier this year. Once they announced that, hey, they're going to have a Hamfest and everything's going to be cool. They're going to have all the usual stuff and all that kind of stuff. I went ahead and reserved a room. Of course, all the rooms at the nearby hotels were taken up, the immediate area hotels. So we had reserved a room somewhere a little further outlying. Then in the process or in the interim, we moved from Fairview, Tennessee, to Shelbyville, Tennessee, so I could be closer to my terminal where my truck is out of, right? And I could come home every day when I'm done driving instead of having to sleep in the truck and only go home once a week for my long break, my 34-hour restart that's required for us truck drivers to have one after a certain amount of time. So that being said, when I started looking again, and my route takes me, some of my route takes me quite often down through Huntsville. And I started to realize, hey, this isn't that long of a drive. So I looked from our house to the Von Braun Center. It's an hour and 10 minutes. No
wow.
So we're going to go down we're going to go down Saturday, get there early and enjoy the day, go home and rest up. And then I don't know if my wife's going to make it back on Sunday, but I'm certainly going to come back down because I've been jonesing for a Hamfest, especially Huntsville, because it's indoors. It's nice and cool. They've got everything you want to look at there. I mean, it's believe me, anybody listening right now, if you have not been to the Huntsville Hamfest, you owe it to yourself to go. It is one of the nicest Hamfest. Now, I've only been to the Hamvention once, and that was just a couple of years before they moved it out of Dayton and down to Xenia. So I haven't been back since they moved it to Xenia. And as soon as they fire that thing up, I'm planning on hopefully being able to go to that as well. But I mean, this is the next best thing to going to Dayton as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. How you doing?
And then the company at breakfast is kind of questionable, though.
Well, the company at breakfast, the company at dinner after the thing closes down, the company at the bar. I mean, last time I was there a couple of years ago, I did bend an elbow with Don Wilbanks for a little while, and we had a wonderful time getting to know each other a little better. And it turns out that we have a whole lot in common with our broadcast backgrounds and just music taste stuff that we like, and ham radio, of course, being a big one. Speaking of Don, he fixed me up with a box with the transformer in it, the 49-to-1 Ballon for an end-fed half wave, and I just kind of rigged that thing up real temporarily a couple of weeks ago, and I was amazed at how well it worked. I cut it for 40 meters, but it will with my tuner, it will tune pretty much anything up to 10 meters because that's what my radio will do, and it was just amazing. I didn't get the bonus stations, but I did manage to get all 13 of the 13 colonies stations. So I consider that a clean sweep. The bonus stations were insane. Too many pileups, lots of bad band conditions, but it was a fun event nonetheless. So in my spare time, when I'd come home in the morning after driving all night, I'd try to hunt down the stations I needed. When I got up in the afternoon or evening, I'd try to hunt down the ones I needed. And I was sweating that last one, which was Pennsylvania, but I finally got it night before last, and was able to get the 13 colonies into the log. So that was another exciting thing. Neil, cool. This is the first time I've had an HF station up in 5 years, so I'm just busting at the seams to do ham radio. Excuse my my zealotry, my zealousness, but. Dadgum, I love this hobby.
Well, it's great to hear that you've got all that going, and it's great to hear that I'll have somebody to sit with at breakfast again and I'll watch out when you and Will Banks are together, because yeah.
Tim,
Yeah.
Tim, it's good.
And,
Tim, it's good to meet you on the air here, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. Actually, I live in Fayetteville, and so you're probably going to drive through my burg on your way down to Huntsville. But looking forward to meeting you at the Hamfest.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you too, and I'm looking forward to winning the grand prize. And I'm looking forward to taking my wife to the first large Hamfest that she's ever been to. We've been to a lot of small ones, like up in Arkansas with our friends up there that we used to be a part of the amateur radio club there in Northeast Arkansas Radio Club in Jonesboro. A wonderful club, by the way, great folks. They've become dear friends of ours. Every year except one or two since we left Jonesboro in 2012, we have gone back for field day to be with these folks, because that's how good of friends they are. That's how much fun we have. They're a really good club. I want to put in a plug for them as well. But yeah, it's the friends that you can make in this hobby are just unbelievable. Like Neil and I, we had never seen each other in person till I was at Huntsville that last time, and boy, we just had a great time. He and his fiance then, she was then his fiance, now she's his lovely blushing bride. Congratulations.
Or as I like to call her, Mrs. WB9 VPG.
There you go. And the new house you guys moved into, blessings on that. That's fantastic. I've been following your progress on Facebook, and I know it was a struggle to get there, and you guys had to make a lot of sacrifices and deal with a lot of changes, some of them pretty much on the fly, but you did it. You're there, and may you live a happy life ever after.
Well,
and
thank
give
you.
her my best,
Yes.
and I'm looking forward to. Is she coming to Huntsville? We going to see her again?
I think she is. I can't confirm that, but I believe.
Well, if you
she
tell her,
is,
if you tell her
so.
Will Banks is coming, she might hesitate. So I don't know.
Yeah, we won't tell her that. But well, Skeeter, thanks so much for calling in. It's great to hear you once again, and it's great to hear about your excitement for Huntsville. And I look forward to seeing you there soon.
Yes, sir. All right. Carry on with the show. Thanks for letting me get on. I appreciate it. And I'll hang up and listen.
All right. Skeeter Nash, N5ASH. Thanks for giving us a call tonight. And we probably have time for one more if you want to give us a call at 859-982-7373. And it looks like we've got the whole Newsline crew in here tonight. Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, says, good to hear plans being made for real. And hello to Skeeter, and good to hear you on Ham Talk Live. So let's see, Mark, we've got one other one. I'm not going to read this word for word, but basically, what would you have to say to people who are still a little nervous about being there just right now?
I think we're delving into physician and doctor territory, or maybe psychologist. But personally, I'm ready to get out and live again. I've had my shots. I'm ready to rejoin society, and I hope everyone feels safe enough. We're taking precautions. We're spreading things out. We believe it's going to be a safe and well-attended event, and we really hope that folks feel the same and join us.
All right. Very good. Well, we are just about out of time here, so I want to make sure we catch everything. I know I kind of had on the back burner to talk about some of the forums and the youth lounge, of course, and so we'll mention those quickly. But in a couple of minutes here, let's talk about anything that we've missed that you need to let folks know.
Well, the one thing I forgot to mention is we're encouraging folks to purchase their tickets online. We do take a small hit from PayPal, but we absorb that. But the reason we want to do that is we want to try to streamline the entry. That Saturday morning crush with literally hundreds and thousands of people trying to get in on Saturday morning. if we can steer them towards a will call window where it's simply look up their call sign, hand them their button and their prize tickets, that speeds up the process for everyone and eliminates cash handling by our Haylarks, the YL group that helps with our ticket sales. So go to hamfest.org, punch that ticket button, buy your tickets online, and streamline Saturday morning admission.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you for coming on the show and talking to us about it. And like many of the folks here commenting on Spreaker tonight, can't wait for it to happen. And so we'll see everybody there that can make it and choose to, and we'll hopefully see all of you at events in the future. We've got Orlando that Michael talked about a little bit, and then of course Dayton again, and then hopefully things will continue to progress and get better, and we'll be able to catch all of these. So thank you so much, and best of luck with everything, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Hey, Neil, thank you so much for letting me on the show tonight, talking about the Huntsville Hamfest. It's going to be a great weekend, Saturday, August 21 and 22. Hope everybody can make it. And thanks again, Neil.
All right. And hamfest.org is the place to go to find out all things about Huntsville. So make sure you check that out. Well, I mentioned that Youth on the Air Camp is next week. I have been busier in the last month than I think I ever have. Skeeter talked a little bit about the move and everything, and that was stressful. And then I'm taking 2 classes and then getting this first ever Yoda camp ready to go. And it starts on Sunday. And I start Saturday morning officially full-time, but it's been full-time for about a month, I think. But it's coming up, and we are going to do the show next week live from Yoda Camp. I kind of went back and forth on that, but we need to hear from the campers, and so I will be back on the show next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be in the middle of a pizza and pool party, so we'll see how that goes next week. So be sure to tune in for that. And also, don't forget, listen for W8Y all next week throughout Yoda Camp. There are some dedicated times on Monday night and on HF and some on Tuesday late afternoon, and then on satellites Thursday morning and Friday morning. So check out youthontheair.org. You'll see that there, but there will be people on all throughout the week, just at various times. So make sure you check out W8Y on the spots and look for us. And if you're in the greater Cincinnati area, you can come out and cheer on the competitors in the Fox Oring event on Thursday afternoon from 3 to 5 at the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting out front, out in the yard. And we've got signs for you to hold up, and we've even got free Kona ice. So you can bring the family and come cheer on the competitors. So check that out as well. All right, well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to my guest, Mark Brown, in for BCD, and everybody out there in cyberspace for listening and calling in, typing in, and invite you back next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, when we will come to you live from Youth on the Air Camp. And for a list of all of our upcoming guests, just go to hamtalklive.com. And if you like the show, please leave us a review. That helps us and helps people find the show faster. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375, and may the good DX be yours.
But he came right back to my CQ call. He